Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on the channel, and in today's video I want to talk about PvE and PvP slash raids or advanced content and why they kind of need to be separate. Now, I've seen this topic being talked about a lot over the past couple of months, and I figured I would chip in and offer my own opinion on the topic. Now, I'm obviously somebody who's done a lot of PvE, right? You guys know me, I have 7 max characters every school, right? I've gotten Warlord on my Storm, been relatively high ranked on every school in PvP. The first raid, we were the second ones to beat it, a day after Ferric's Guild beat it for the world's first. So I've done a lot of advanced and a lot of casual. So the first thing I want to talk about is going to be PvE, and my first example is going to be a fire from above. Now, this used to be a burst hit with pretty good damage per pip, and you get a trap out of it, which is really powerful. Very good card. I would love for fire to have that nowadays, but unfortunately, because of PvP and stuff like that, they changed FFA to be one giant overtime, which does do a lot of damage, but obviously, right, it makes fire have a hard time while doing burst damage and stuff like that, right? You also do get a fuel as opposed to 125 trap. However, players obviously preferred having the burst damage in PvE because you just want your damage now with like a feint, for example. And in PvP, well, it can just get overtime countered and you're kind of just sitting there and you're screwed. And the thing is, I don't think this would have changed if it wasn't for, well, PvP, you know? Because obviously in PvP, a fire is not supposed to be a burst damage school. That's more of a storm identity thing, and fire is overtimes. So I do understand why they made that change in like an advanced content or PvP context. However, this affecting PvE as well is where I have a bigger issue with the problem, right guys? I think a lot of the community actually does feel the same way with certain cards like that. There are still some good things, like 7 pips more is still available in PvE, just not in PvP. You can only get the 5 pip version of the S'more now in PvP. So there are a couple, you know, of things KingsIsle has done right with auditing cards between PvE and PvP. However, I think in general they could probably just do a better job, and I look forward to that in the future. Now, let's talk about PvP and raids. Now, this is where a lot of people are upset because obviously the people that raid are oftentimes going to be doing PvP more often than not because the modes are tied together and labeled as advanced content, right? Challenge mode, raids, and PvP are the same thing. And KingsIsle has came out and said they want them all to be familiar and similar so players can transition into one and another and like feel comfortable, right? They want Timmy to come from challenge mode and maybe a raid and then be confident going to PvP because he understands the raid and challenge mode, right? So in KingsIsle's mind, that would help draw more people into PvP, which I guess on paper makes a little bit of sense, I guess, but I think it's actually backfiring a little bit. I think PvP needs more things like cool cosmetics, right? Seasonal rewards, stuff like that. Bring back tournaments, right? The tournaments have been gone for about 2 years now, and bro, tournaments is one of the things that got me back into Wiz, right? As you guys know, I've been playing maybe for 3 years now, approaching 3 years. I played when I was a kid, came back 3 years ago, and I played a lot of tournaments, right? I loved grinding tournaments, and that's no longer an option anymore, right? If tournaments weren't there when I came back, maybe I wouldn't have made my channel and grinded all 7 wizards, right? So I'd really like to see them return. I think having seasonal rewards, exclusive rewards even in PvP would be really cool. Just in general, more updates to keep players interested, because something I've noticed being in the community a lot is if there's a really bad update or a really bad meta, players would rather just drop like flies and play other games. You see this a lot at high ranks as well, right? There used to be like maybe 4 or 5 high rank storms and then they just all quit the game. Now there's like literally 0 because obviously I don't really play for rank anymore. Soul Sword doesn't play for rank anymore, and then everybody else is just either boosted, sniped, or just doesn't play because the school is bad, right? So yeah, just very bad balancing changes. I would like to see more updates and a lot more incentives to do PvP. I like the battle pass, but I would like to see more like seasonal rewards kind of thing, make a season feel special. Maybe you get a cool amount participating in the season or completing a certain number of wins, a challenge to get a mount. I don't know, just stuff like that. I think that would draw more people into PvP. Also, maybe if there's like a classic PvP mode, I know the community has been asking for that. Just a way to have all like banned TC, old item cards back into PvP. Maybe in like a tournament mode, you know, where all that stuff is unbanned. I think that'd be cool, and that would also help get new people actually into ranked, you know? You could include Shambo in that new PvP mode that has the old settings, right? And kind of ease them into, you know, the new Shambo stuff, right? Because a common complaint I hear is players being like, oh, well, I'm too scared, or I don't understand, there's too much going on, I don't want to keep PvPing. I lost 3 times, I don't know what's going on, I don't want to keep playing. And there's not even anything to play for, right? So that's a very common complaint I hear from the community, and I thought I'd bring it up in the video here. Now, PvP versus raids, I think I kind of got on a random side tangent there, so I apologize for that. However, in my opinion, these two need to be separate, and I think a lot of the community agrees on this, right? I'm going to talk about one change that has happened recently, is the hard resist cap, I guess you could call it, where basically wards became obsolete. Now, wards and stuff like that in the raid were actually very helpful, very impactful. You would like to have those in the game, okay? However, pins and ward in PvP was a different story, because that would A, enable people and incentivize them to target and snipe other people around their rank to therefore boost and inflate their rank, and B, you simply did not have to play better than your opponent, right? If you were on a resist school with ward, and you could just simply like ignore a whole buff and trade, right? So it was absolutely insane, and I think for the balancing of PvP, ward and pin had to go. So I'm very, very happy about that. However, that indirectly made raids way more difficult, right? And you get way less value, if not any value anymore, from running a ward in a raid. So, you know, you could talk about changes like that, or like the AoE ban they did some time ago, and stuff like that. There's a bunch of indirect things that, you know, are in PvP that might not work in raids, or vice versa. I mean, I think like old TC Owl used to be used in the first raid. Now you can't use that anymore because, well, TC Owl's banned, right? So just a lot of little things like that. I think the community would like to see the modes just be separate in general, or maybe they just could have come up with a better solution to, you know, fixing resist and ward and setting in PvP, so it didn't indirectly screw you in the raid. But that's everything I wanted to say for the video, guys. Let me know your thoughts and feedback down there in the comments below. Looking forward to read them. Like I said, I really felt like I need to make this video. Also, I'm hoping my mic sounds good. I just got my new mic today, and it took me like an hour or 2 to set up because I'm a little slow, but my girlfriend actually helped me with that, so shout out to her. She's really helpful, really cool. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you for watching, and take care.